Well, I've experienced it as a player and as a coach. Right behind our bench were cheerleaders, like right behind our bench. And so the minute I got up to shout instructions or Alan Arrington got up, they just started. So it was impossible to communicate. And the elevators inevitably were always slow, always breaking down. And it just seemed more than a coincidence that it would always be happening when we were there and when we were trying to get up to our rooms. So in this particular instance, the elevator actually stopped. And there was a gap between where we were needing to get to, like that amount of space. And the door was slightly open. There were armed guards on every floor, and what actually happened was the guard on the other side of the door with his big gun pokes the head of the gun through the elevator door and starts prying the door, trying to pry the door apart. And we're all in there like diving for the floor. It's a different environment altogether, and so you need to prepare yourself for the game on the field, and you need to prepare yourself for all the games that take place off the field. And the best thing to do is, from a psychological point of view, understand that it's going to happen and accept that it's going to happen, but try to not let it detract from your focus on what you're there for, which is trying to win the game. If you're a young player and you're going in there for the first time, people will tell you about it, but you don't necessarily believe it. And then when you get there and then you're trying to get to sleep the night before, and the drumming starts and it goes on through the night, you think, wow, they were telling the truth. And the thing I think that they take great pleasure out of, they being the host countries where they're applying the gamesmanship, is you getting mad. Okay, I think they really like the fact that they're getting you wound up and they're distracting you from the reason why you're there. And that's not by coincidence. I think prior to you getting there, your itinerary is probably in the paper so that everybody can get to where you are. There was a truck that came that took our luggage, and then we were to follow in the bus. They got a head start on us. By the time we got to our airport, Craig Forrest is the one that I think about. He actually picked up his bag, and it was a lot lighter than when he dropped it off. So in getting out, you're actually coming out, and you're in amongst all the masses. And we started to come out, and people initially we got a good result, and we were kind of rubbing it in a little bit. And then we realized, no, we better stop doing that, because the bus started to rock. And there was security, there were police there, but they weren't anywhere to be seen at that time. So the bus is rocking, and you're starting to think there's 40,000 people that have just come out of the stadium, and you're surrounded by them. And fortunately, the police came, and we were able to get out, and there wasn't an incident. But when the bus was rocking, I'm thinking to myself, this might not be good.